Dairy farming is challenging, and it's more challenging when you don't have sufficient fodder. In our previous video, we talked about quick fixes in dairy farming, especially for the farmers in highlands area, like here in Nyandarua County. So we did this pilot project on oats. Personally, when I was growing up, oats and barley was the main fodder for cows, supplemented with Napier grass. So we wanted to see whether we can revive that thing of growing oats as a quick fix. But you as our viewer, we humbly request you to like our videos, share our videos, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. Now, for oats, this was our quick fix. And as I said in one of the previous videos, that there is what is there in the books and there is what is there in the ground. So ground, the books will say you plant oats through broadcasting. For us, we used the rows, but they were so close, about less than 30 centimeters apart. The reason why we used the rows is because in this area, it's next to a forest. These are field 4. It's next to a forest. We have a lot of monkeys, we have antelopes, we have all kind of birds. So you can't just broadcast. That's why we use the row. When you broadcast, the recommended seed rate for oats is 70 kgs per acre, as we did 100 kgs per acre. We had this portion of barley and this portion of oats. So we used 100 kgs of oats per acre. Our next target was to harvest it within 90 days. Within 90 to 120 days. Surprisingly, we harvested these oats at 70 days. Again, our intention was to make hay oats for our calves. As you all know that calves should consume hay up to 6 months of age. So no silage before then. So our target was to make hay out of it. Unfortunately or fortunately, it was raining heavily. So that one wasn't attainable. Again, oats have higher moisture levels. So we decided to make silage out of it. Again, that was another expensive affair. I'll walk you through on how to make the oat silage. I want to rewind a little bit. This land had a lot of grasses. We had coach grass, we had Kikuyu grass, all form of grasses. We didn't plow again. As I said in one of the videos, we practice conservation agriculture. So we didn't plow it at all when we were planting oats. And this was done around 28 April of this year, 2022. So what we did, we applied herbicide, non-selective. For this case, unlike the maize shamba, this one we couldn't wait for a whole week. So we settled for this non-selective herbicide that only takes 4 hours, then you can plant. So you applied it, and after 4 hours, we planted. Technology. So immediately after planting, we didn't apply any fertilizer, but we applied foliar 2 times. Worth to note, but we didn't use any fertilizer. At least in this portion, we were able to get about 4 tons. And 4 tons, using our method of 20 kgs of silage per day, 20 to 30 kgs of silage per day, you can calculate if you have 3 cows, if you have 5 cows. Again, I said this one is not sustainable because that oat silage ended up being more expensive than the maize silage. But again, when you compare the biomass was too low as compared to the maize. So after 70 days, our oats was ready. We harvested at the milk stage. When you press those seeds, you could see a little bit of milk. So that's when we harvested all of it. That particular day we harvested, we planted this maize. As you can see, this maize is 1 month old now. It's doing very well. We are happy. As you compare with this other maize, that is 2 months. So this one is our neighbor's portion, but you can compare the 2 months and the 1 month. This one will apply the foliar as we advised you in the next video. But because the rains are on a downward trajectory, we won't wait for 10 days interval. We'll do it on 7 days interval. We purpose to harvest all of these maize for silage by December. That is a duration of about 5-6 months. So, in dairy farming, the quick fixes you have, they will always sort you out of that mess. But remember, the quick fixes sometimes may end up being more expensive. So for us, we learned our lesson, and the advice we'll give, if it's not cut and carry, you wouldn't go the direction of oats. Again, the transport was very expensive. And as I said, the transport in this country is very expensive. So if that oat field is not next to the cow shed, that one is a no-go zone. Because this one, the transport was more expensive than the cost of establishment. The ensiling cost was very expensive. In this particular maize, when it was planted, again, we did the soil analysis. The fertilizer we used here, it's totally different with the other fertilizer we used there. As you can see in our analysis, the comparison, this soil is more acidic. Actually, the next season, we'll have to apply lime. You usually have 2 forms of lime, and the lab recommended we use the 2 types of lime. So we want to improve this soil minus plowing at all. As you can see, these white patches, I'm sure you're wondering what it is. When we harvested that oats and we planted the following day, after the seed germinated and we could count 4 to 6 leaves, that's when we applied selective herbicide. Actually, what the white patches you are seeing, today is day 14 post applying that herbicide. That's why you are seeing it works on the principle of stopping the process of photosynthesis. That's why you are seeing it's no longer green, but it's white. What to note, or the notable observation is that you can see the oats, most of it, it didn't die, but the growth was suppressed. This is what I said, they will give back to the community. So this one, we won't harvest these oats. It should be ready maybe in the next 3 months, because you have to observe the chemical residue. So we can't feed it to cows, or we can't recommend anyone to feed it to cows when 90 days phase. The manufacturer recommends 60 as we go all the way to 90. So before the 90th day, we can't allow anyone to feed. So after 3 months, we'll allow the people to come, harvest these oats, they feed to their cows, as is just the maize. Remember we said to you to have that security for that crop, especially now that most part of the country, we're experiencing drought. And also we have the pastoralist cows coming along, so that to have that security. And no one is residing in this farm. We need to incorporate the community into this project. We hope this project will be successful. We hope to harvest at least 20 tons per acre. That one should now give our dairy farm enough fodder for the whole of 2023. In fact, our projection is that before before December 12th, the Jamhuri Day, we'll have ensiled enough fodder to last us for the next 1 year. Actually, by December 12th, 2022, we'll have enough fodder to last us up to 31st December 2023. God willing, we must start 2024 before 2023 comes to an end. In our next video, we'll take you through on how to ensile oats. It's a tedious process, an interesting process with a lot of lessons to learn. Until next time, keep it Dairy Networks. Like our page, like our video, like our Facebook page, Dairy Networks. Share this video, subscribe to this video, and also be part of Dairy Network family through our services like dairy trainings and consultancy, as well as Superforce Nation, which is a mineral brand, that gives you optimal growth in heifers. It gives you better fertility indexes in the farm. And I remember, fertility is what keeps your business afloat. If you get everything right, your cow should calve every year. This is a mineral that helps your cows not to have issues during calving, like a milk fever, retained placenta, name them. It's one of the best brand that you can ever feed to your cows. Until next time, keep it Dairy Networks. Kwaheri.